potatoes, but those are pretty interchangeable. So you can put in whatever you'd like. If you'd like to add sausage instead of bacon, different vegetables, whatever you'd like to do. So we're going to start with some bacon in the pan here. I have my pan preheated. I'm just going to add this bacon to it and a touch of olive oil. You can start with raw bacon. I just happen to have some cooked bacon already today, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to get that nice and crisped up a little bit. And once that gets in there, heated up a little bit, I'm going to add some onions and garlic to that. Turn up my heat. So I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. I don't want this to get too done, so I'm just going to let it get softened up. We use a term called sweating, which means that your vegetables are just going to start to kind of glisten and soften up a little bit. Get that going. So that'll just take a minute. In the meantime, while that's cooking, I want to show you here, I have par-cooked some potatoes. So it's important to par-cook them. They won't cook enough if you start with them from raw. So I have them softened up here a little bit. I'm just going to drain those. Throw my onions. I have my heat on pretty high right now because I just want to get this kind of going. And then I'm going to add these potatoes to this. They've been drained, and I just want to get some nice color on them a little bit. So while those are going to sit there and cook for a minute, I'm going to move back over here to my eggs. I have a few eggs here. I'm going to add a splash of milk to them. Some salt. And a pinch of pepper. I'm going to mix that up. Just get that nice and mixed. When you add milk or any type of liquid to scrambled eggs, it kind of allows them to be a little more fluffy and not so coagulated when you're cooking them. All right, let's see how this is doing. I want to get a little touch more color on those potatoes without burning them. So after we get the color on the potatoes, we're going to add the peppers. Saute that for a minute. We'll add our eggs, and we're not going to stir this a lot. We're just going to kind of let it sit in there. The interesting thing about the frittata is that it will be finished in the oven. This pan that I'm using today has an oven capacity, so even though it has this rubber handle on that, it's heat proof so that I can throw that whole pan right in the oven. And then you just kind of let it finish cooking in the oven and let it set. We'll put some cheese on top, let that melt, and then you cut it just like you would cut like a pie. So you'll cut it into wedges and serve it that way. These are starting to get some color on them. my peppers. Today I'm using red and green peppers. Add that in there. Give it a bunch of color. See how pretty that looks. I'm going to kind of make sure that that's all spread out evenly, because once I pour my eggs in there, I'm not going to do a lot more motion like you would typically with scrambled eggs, where you'd be stirring them around a lot. This way I'm just going to pour those eggs in there. I'm going to sprinkle some cheese on top and put it in the oven. So here's my eggs. I'm going to pour that in there. And make sure they're evenly distributed. Kind of coat all my veggies and potatoes with that. I'm going to take some shredded cheese. Today I have some Mexican cheese, so it's a combination of cheddar, Monterey Jack, and quesadilla. Whatever quesadilla is. Never heard of that, but we'll go with that. I'm going to sprinkle some cheese on top of here like this. I'm pretty generous with cheese. I like it a lot. And I'm going to put this in the oven. It'll probably take about 5 minutes, and then it'll be good to go. So that's all I have for you today. Thanks, guys. Okay, guys, I just wanted to show you, I pulled the frittata out of the oven. You can see that it's kind of nice and puffed up. It's got some nice golden brown colors to it. And I'll slice this up just like I would slice a pie, and put it on a plate and serve it that way. So that's all I have for you. And we'll see you in the next time. Thanks.